You might want to grab a league rep or a group rep on this one. Because, you know, that Korean War that they said that they fought, that there's no footage of. I mean, they could go to like some back lot where they made Basic Instinct, but why bother? So now, the Korean War, they had phone, like, I call them Jerry Lewis telethoners. Like, they called other countries in order to try to raise support and money, which is totally illegal. You are not allowed to ask outside non-genetically similar countrymen to support you in any effort whatsoever, especially if war is what of some sort is on the horizon. So now, if they're calling at some generation for support and to raise money from a non-genetically akinment to what is traditionally a New Yorker, or something in the area of like a England, Ireland, and Scotland, like congruent and kept safe on an island archipelago for public display of, no, they all look alike. Like, they might be distant cousins, but their genetics is definitely northern hemisphere. Whatever. So now there's your example. So why were the New Yorkers and other leagues who were typically Mayweather, being Queen Elizabeth II and her people, speaking as Bruce's wife from Scotland Yard, the basic instinct is to ask questions of the illicit ring of heathens that are causing the fucking trouble around the world. Elizabeth? Right, so now I'm just curious, Don, myself, the title Bruce at the moment, even though typically it's a male and it goes to Mr. William Wallace, All Laces, which were me and him in Mexico. It looked like a conference. It was called La Hacienda. For our purpose, I arrived at the hotel, God only knows how, dressed semi-professionally, but in all black. In the movie Basic Instinct, I call that woman, I think actually when I checked reference, it was Sharon Stone, but I call her Kim Basinger. I call her Kim Basinger, because that's right. Story is that this face is all beat up, ugly, like Hard Life, Hard Knocks, that follows the Kim Basinger storyline of what movies that actress got. At least that's how it's supposed to go, for criminal rings and keeping a steady, like, grip on reality. Kim Basinger did the role Catwoman. Didn't see it. I don't know who the starring man was. And I did see the one, however, with Michelle Pfeiffer. Now, that is more my tune, but in private chamber, not on public anything. And then, then there's the Basic Instinct with Sharon Stone. That ties to a real timeless lace event. Laces being shoelaces to tie things together for Ace, which is the league that I'm in. And the gentleman there, we used Jim Henderson, not Hendrix, but Henderson, Muppet names. So he, same visage as my uber handsome one of my superheroes. I don't have many. I could probably count them on one hand how many I have. So in sons and genetic akinment to the one Vlad that I'm looking for. So now size Vlad for size Soviet with the cute Nazi nose, right? Okay, so anyway, I'm going to keep reiterating that so you don't get lost in stupid history that didn't exist in steaming hot piles of shit. So anyway, I was in La Hacienda, which is some hotel in Mexico. I've been to Mexico a couple times. Once when I was a little kid, when I was probably in like 5th or 6th grade. 5th grade was Nizik, Miss Nizik, and 6th grade was Mr. Moore at Lloyd Harbor Elementary School. One of the breaks in the vacations, my father, Louis Cataruza, flew us down, I thought, to Cancun. We went on the Yucatan Peninsula. We saw the Mayan ruins and so on and so forth. He rented a car. I thought we stayed at the Sheraton. Now, in 1998, I went back in physicality. I went back with Maria Mirza for spring break in college in a break. Now, I met at Senor Frog's, my betrothed, and he walked us back to our room. Maria was after a foam party. Maria went to sleep. I stayed up with my love. That was one bit of 97, 98. But there's a timeless, TIME, and then it's the LESS for the all aces, which is congruent. Now, Basic Instinct, the movie with Sharon Stone, I never watched it, came out in 1992. I have to have my physical, this version, in a local MITTE municipality at some point in my scope in order for me to do crossover work. So I did superhero work in a timeless patch in order to change the trajectory so I wasn't headed for a Kim Basinger all banged up look at 42 all alone, having to explain to you all where you fucked up at every fucking league inside containment of one very special couple. Right, yeah, okay. So Mayweather, there's a big fucking problem because the word Bruce, B-R-U-C-E, is being used as a name in public airing light and on the streets. Although I've never run into a Bruce on the street. But Bruce Springsteen was a problem because he was not akin to what a real Bruce looks like. In that company and league never fucking changes. They are definitely not Korean. So let's think about this. So now, and then there's a Scott Kim, SCOTTKIM, showed up in Lloyd Harbor Elementary or Cold Spring Harbor Junior High at some point in my Coptic going to school. He was in the yearbook, I think, and I'm like, I don't know. But whatever that picture was for a Scott Kim, it looks kind of like an Oliver, Korean for sure. Definitely not a Bruce, and definitely not Don entitled Bruce, and not Don entitled Scott. But they put it there in publication, and I know on world scale we're having big fucking problems with them and us and confusing what company gets what equipment, who's doing what for what reason. It's a real fucking nightmare, and everybody's getting confused and things are breaking even more, and time is just like nobody gives a shit. Yeah, I fucking noticed. So now let's think about this. So, right, usually you don a title and in title, but the genetic akinment has to be congruent with the company and the legacy and legend. We do not allow the street folks or the new entertainment industry to present themselves as a donned entitle at company level of serious world security, not just national, but on a world scale, because it confuses the help and the personnel. Whether you are, you know, I mean, I don't care if you eat out of the garbage or you're eating off of silver plates or whatever, it is not allowed anywhere in between. It is just confusing. It makes the next generation worse, and then the next, and nothing gets fixed because now everybody's walking around going, wait, what is it? I mean, like, I know my grandfather said he knew, but now he can't even describe to me because now they're calling themselves, it gets way too confusing. So now, where did I lose human in all of you should be eaten out of a garbage can right now for treating me this way and allowing, or you should all be running your automobiles in a closed garage until you suffocate for allowing me to look this way and leading me into this mode of operandi, which is not allowed on any scale, on any judicial system, and it's not star qualified for your survival. I mean, you failed at every level, human, and I'm just sitting here waiting, going like, I know I came to help, but like, where? Like, are they coming? Like, are they just gonna fucking develop new shit and then hurt me more? And who's allowing this? Theater club, directorship, hello, Mayflower, Mayweather, Vatican, are you home? I mean, DC, are we like the DC Comics from the comic book superheroes? Do you actually wear like real superhero gear? I don't fucking know, I haven't seen any of you. I mean, like, I know they didn't know if I existed. I'm really questioning whether any of the help exists that we set up before I got here and that I talked to in 1980.